Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is assignment number 3 for the Virtual Homeschool Co-op. And today's assignment is, do you use a boxed curriculum or not a boxed curriculum? Basically, a boxed curriculum is one where you would get all of the resources from one company. So, excuse me. So Sunlight, I know, has one. My Father's World, Heart of Dakota, those places. Now, that's not saying that you can't use part of their curriculum for a subject. That's not considered a boxed curriculum. A boxed curriculum would be one where you're using, like they have created, it's an all-in-one curriculum. So you purchase one time from this company and they send you everything for every subject. Now, we are using, or at least we started out with a boxed curriculum at the beginning of this year. Remember, this is my first year. So I wanted something that was going to be really easy with me getting my feet wet. And that very much is an easy thing to do, or at least I feel, is getting an all-in-one curriculum, because there's less planning on your part. And a lot of times when you buy a boxed curriculum, the lesson plans are all kind of fused together, so it's laid out as far as, you know, it's not just lesson plans for your math lesson and then your science lesson. It's all kind of meshed together in a way that flows well, and so there's little to do on your part as a teacher. So that's what we chose for the beginning of this year. And it worked really great for us for about 6 months. But the problem that we ran into is that right now, I have a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old. When we started, I had a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I started them both on the same program, kindergarten. And so, I knew that my 3-year-old could keep up with a lot, and she's done really well, but I knew there were some things that probably were going to have to be reviewed the next year. And so that's why she's, you know, I've said before, she's going to do kindergarten over again, or I guess more, not really over again, but we're really going to actually do a kindergarten program with her. I mean, what we're using from the Heart of Dakota is a kindergarten program, but there are certain things that she hasn't grasped yet, that I haven't really focused on pushing or focused on mastery for her, such as handwriting and phonics, because I know we're going to go over that again. Now, my son is almost 6, and so that's one of the reasons. Now he's almost 6. When we first started, he had just turned 5, so now he's on his way to turning 6. And so it worked really well for us in the beginning of the year, because I was starting out, I didn't really know what I was doing, and it was just really easy for me. And then we get to about 6 months in, and I can really see the divide where my kiddos are as far as their differences, what strengths they have, what subject maybe one is stronger in than the other. So there was that. And then also, not only them being different from each other, but them, I feel like, okay, this is me. Remember, this is me. This is not everyone. And I haven't tried all of the all-in-one curriculums. So this is just actually from the Heart of Dakota. So there's a lot of things I like about that program. And I did a review on my own channel about the program. The math, I love the math. It's the perfect level, but I feel like there's not enough science, and I feel like maybe some of the stuff is not at the same level as the math. So the math, I feel like, is kind of up here, and maybe the history is a little down here, and I know that may not be the case for everyone. I feel like, but for my children, I feel like some of the material is right at their level and some isn't. I guess that's what I'm getting at. And so what I did for the upcoming year, 2016 to 2017, is I went and picked and chose my curriculum materials separately. So we're not using a box curriculum. So I've picked like Singapore math. We're doing the primary mathematics for math. And then for science, we're using Apologia Science. And so I went through when choosing my curriculum and thought, okay, I know where my children are at. I know that level. And so I feel like that, you know, this material will work for us for that, and this material will work for us for that subject. And so that's kind of why I have chosen not to purchase a boxed curriculum this year, because I feel like my children are stronger in certain subjects, so I may need something a little bit more challenging. And maybe we're not at the level we should be in reading, you know, for example, so we need something else. And I feel like with the boxed curriculum, sometimes all of the materials are on the same level, and children aren't always like that, you know. As an adult, you know that you have strengths in certain subjects and maybe you're not as strong in other subjects. And so I'm just trying to make it to where my children are challenged, but they're not overly challenged, too challenged to where they get frustrated. So it's a balancing act. And so that's kind of where we are. I have no problem with somebody that chooses an all-in-one curriculum. If your child, if that works well for you and your child, fantastic. Because I feel like it's so much nicer to be able to just grab an entire curriculum set from one company. That's fantastic that those are available. So, but this is my contribution to the Virtual Homeschool Co-op assignment 3. So, do we use a boxed curriculum? We did this year. Next year we will not. So, thanks for stopping by and watching, and I will see you on my next video. Thanks.